What's up, guys? Welcome back. We got Bobbie Gentry today, Ode to Billie Joe. Tell me, Samantha, what do you know about Bobbie Gentry?
Absolutely nothing.
And that makes two of us. This is going to be a first-time reaction to Bobbie on the channel. We never heard Ode to Billie Joe before. Excited to check it out, though. This was pretty popular request on, or well, I shouldn't say request, a comment on some of the country videos that we had done previously. You guys were saying you got to get to Bobbie Gentry at some point, so we've arrived now.
Here we are.
And so briefly we were looking into her, and apparently she's known for her storytelling, and this song in particular is a storytelling-based song.
I'm excited because I usually like the storytelling songs.
You do like the storytelling?
Yeah.
I thought you said you don't.
No, I typically do.
I was going to call you out on that. I was going to start naming all the storytelling songs that you enjoyed, you know, and we've done like Johnny Cash. We've done Gordon Lightfoot, whether he's up or not on the channel yet. That's one of the more recent ones that we've done. So I've enjoyed the storytelling ones for sure as well.
Yeah.
And so in light of Billie Joe, Bobbie Gentry, I don't know. It's like we got two confusing names here. I want to like combine the two, or Billie Joe is doing the song and not Bobbie Gentry. It's a song about Bobbie Gentry or Billie Joe. Anyways, enough of that. What is the pop quiz question, Samantha?
The pop quiz question is, what state is Bobbie Gentry born in?
If you know that, let us know down below.
Yes.
And we'll confirm that answer a little bit later. I'm excited to find out what Bobbie Gentry is all about. I've heard the name, like I said, but let's cut the hearsay and find out what she's going to bring to the table.
Let's do it.
I was born in Chickasaw County. When I was 6, we moved to another region in Mississippi called the Delta. And we lived between two rivers. One was the Yazoo, and the other was the Tallahatchie. It was the 3rd of June, another sleepy, dusty Delta day. I was out chopping cotton and my brother was baling hay. And at dinner time we stopped and walked back to the house to eat. And Mama hollered at the back door, y'all remember to wipe your feet. And then she said, I got some news this morning from Choctaw Ridge. Today Billie Joe McAllister jumped off the Tallahatchie Bridge. And Papa said to Mama as he passed around the black-eyed peas, oh, Billie Joe never had a lick of sense. Pass the biscuits, please. There's 5 more acres in the lower 40 I got to plant. And Mama said it was a shame about Billie Joe anyhow.
Wow. So it's crazy how engaged I am with this one just off of her guitar and her lyricism and her vocal.
Yeah.
She's got a beautiful voice.
She does.
But I really love how she kind of trails out on the end of each bar and each line to get you like focused on where we're going with the story.
Yeah, it's like, okay, the end of that thought into another.
Yeah, and like I said, just from the storytelling component, I'm picturing everything that she's saying.
Yes.
Right?
Like they're all sitting around the table, having dinner, passing
the
food.
peas and
biscuits.
Yeah.
Biscuits, please.
And then thinking about that, like, country, southern feel of what that life would be like and look like. And, I'm thinking of a lot of like nature and wildlife and sunshine and rivers but that's
the cotton, baling the hay.
Yeah, and so like the farming aspect, right? So that makes me visualize, right? Everything she's saying and the way she's saying it, doing it so beautifully, is allowing me to paint this picture in my head. But nothing intricate. You don't need anything too crazy for your mind to go into that state. She's really allowing you to use your imagination.
And I love that her voice is just like so ear pleasing too. Like it lures you in and makes you want to listen more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're enjoying Bobbie Gentry?
I am. At first, I don't know if she has a slight twinge of an accent or something at first. That sounded like a little bit of a harder.
A little bit more than slight. It's there.
I was having a little bit of trouble kind of like fully picking up what she was saying. But now that we've been going a little bit more, I think I'm getting it a little bit more.
Yeah, I think she has a little bit of that southern slang in there too,
Yes.
right? And this is from, a time frame, obviously, quite a while ago. So some of the language in itself from the time might be a little bit different.
Yeah,
so
that's fair.
the accent on top of that might not pick up on every little detail, but I'm loving this. So let's keep it going, see where this story about Billie Joe is going to go.
And Mama said it was a shame about Billie Joe. Seems like nothing ever comes to no good up on Choctaw Ridge. And now Billie Joe McAllister's jumped off the Tallahatchie Bridge. Brother said he recollected when he and Tom and Billie Joe put a frog down my back at the Carroll County Picture Show. And wasn't I talking to him after church last Sunday night? I'll have another piece of apple pie. You know it don't seem right. I saw him at the sawmill yesterday up on Choctaw Ridge. And now you tell me Billie Joe's jumped off the Tallahatchie Bridge. Mama said to me, child, what's happened to your appetite? Well, I've been cooking all morning and you haven't touched a single bite. That nice young preacher, Brother Taylor, dropped by today. Said he'd be pleased to have dinner on Sunday. Oh, by the way, he said he saw a girl that looked a lot like you up on Choctaw Ridge. And she and Billie Joe was throwing something up the Tallahatchie Bridge.
I'm so invested in this.
I know. I'm like, where's this going?
And I was thinking, this is not going to go. It's not going to turn out in a positive way, the way she's telling the story, but mostly because of the music, the way that she's saying the lyrics and the music is kind of eerie.
Yeah.
In a sense.
An underlying like mystery to it.
Yeah, like it's like a mystery, like you said. That's a great way to summarize it. And like there's something nefarious going on. And that's why I'm kind of waiting for the other shoe to drop with the way she's telling this story, because that's the vibe that I'm getting from it.
Yeah, like there's more to it.
Exactly. Also really cool to know that she was one of the first artists to write and female artists to write and produce her own music.
Really cool.
And I think they said in there as well at the bottom that they made a film out of this.
Mm-hmm. It said that as well, yeah.
Yeah, which is also really cool.
Like from the story.
Yeah, that's the only thing that I was like having a little bit of trouble with, though, was they were giving this information on the screen.
I know.
I'm trying to listen to what she's saying.
Getting distracted.
I'm also, watching her and the way she's kind of conveying this message. And so there's a lot going on to take in all at one time.
I missed, like, when she was singing, I missed a little piece of the story because I was reading that. And then I was like, oh, wait, what did she just say?
Yeah. It's also cool how she keeps circling back to the Tallahatchie Bridge.
Yeah.
So it's like she's got these verse components, and there's not a specific chorus, but that kind of leads you to a chorus of the Tallahatchie Bridge musically from the composition. She doesn't really need that. You keep going through the story, but we keep coming back to the Tallahatchie Bridge, which is really, really cool.
She keeps saying the other thing too. I forget how you say it, the something ridge.
Yeah, I'm not going to try to pronounce it.
Yeah, not me either.
But it's the same.
I'm going to butcher it.
Same place, right?
Yes.
But that's why she keeps circling back without a chorus, which I find is really, really cool from the composition side of things.
A lot like you up on Choctaw Ridge.
There you go.
And she and Billie Joe was throwing something up the Tallahatchie Bridge.
And that was something that was confusing to me too, because earlier on they said at the bottom, people were confused and trying to figure out what was being thrown off the bridge in that little blurb at the bottom.
Yeah, him and his girlfriend or something.
That came before she said it. So I was like, did I miss something?
Yeah,
And then she said it later, so I caught it.
A year has come and gone since we heard the news about Billie Joe. Brother married Becky Thompson. They bought a store in Tupelo. There was a virus going round. Papa caught it and he died last spring. And now Mama doesn't seem to want to do much of anything. And me, I spend a lot of time picking flowers up on Choctaw Ridge. Drop them into the muddy water off the Tallahatchie Bridge.
There's that mystery sound again.
Yeah.
Use of the strings in there. And so that makes me think that, because she just said that she was throwing flowers on the Tallahatchie Bridge, right? So that, and then they made mention earlier that there was a girl that looked a lot like her, the narrator of the story, right? Up on the bridge with Billie Joe, and they were throwing something off the bridge. But they didn't know what it was. So it sounds like the narrator was throwing flowers off the bridge with Billie Joe.
Yeah.
And she didn't tell anybody that she was there with Billie Joe.
Yeah,
so
like
who
they were
knows
dating
if
or whatever.
she pushed Billie Joe off the bridge.
Maybe.
So I think that's because what they were saying at the bottom there, that people were trying to figure out what happened in the song.
Yeah.
So it's left up to open to interpretation.
Yeah, it's open-ended.
But that's why I think it's a murder mystery.
Yeah, well, I mean, it could be that, or, you know, just another theory is that it could be that they had a secret relationship that nobody knew about, and then he jumped off the bridge, and then now she's sad, and that's why she's throwing flowers. But nobody knows that they were together.
That's also a valid theory.
Yeah. So who
You guys
knows?
can let us know which theory you
Who
think is
knows?
correct. But that's cool that we had our own interpretations of the same song, right? That's the beauty of these kind of songs, is that you can listen to it and have a whole completely different experience. And so I really enjoyed it. She's great. She did a fantastic job.
Yeah, I thought she did a great delivery.
Yeah, on you know, telling that story. Now, give them the answer to that pop quiz question.
Yes. So the answer to the pop quiz question, which if you guys were paying attention, you would have seen the answer to it twice during this video, is what state was she born in? And the answer is Mississippi.
Mississippi. And so obviously we hadn't seen the video,
No,
so we had no idea. What we're doing the show. But the reason why I was just saying let's get to that now is because it's interesting that she was born in Mississippi and the Tallahatchie Bridge is in Mississippi. And so, like, I wonder if this is potentially a true story.
Maybe this is about her life.
Because, you know, she's the narrator.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
So
for sure.
I'm sure she could have just, you know, had the creative juices going and saying, oh, there's this bridge there. And, you know.
A story about that.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure that it's an actual landmark place, the Tallahatchie Bridge.
Nice.
I'm pretty sure that it actually exists. So really interesting. There's a whole lot going on to this one, and I can
you guys
see
will have
why.
to let us know all the theories.
Yeah, I can see why it lived on for so long, and it's got you know the historical context. It's really relevant in history of music because clearly she, as we discussed, made an impact with her.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Career personally as an artist for women, and this song in particular, I feel like there was probably so much speculation about it.
Yeah,
that's why it's
which
lived
gained
on.
a lot of hype.
Yeah. So, any closing thoughts?
I really enjoyed it. I honestly really like her vocal. Like, I think her voice is really nice to listen to, and I'd be interested to hear more from her. So, if you guys have any recommendations.
I really enjoyed it as well. So hopefully if you guys did, you can hit that like button for us now. Helps with your algorithm, lets the algorithm know that you like Bobbie Gentry and you like bars and barbells. That's us. And if you want to see more from us, make sure you hit the subscribe button if this is your first time on the channel. If you are subscribed, yes, you should hit that notification bell because that'll notify you anytime we drop a video. We do drop 2 videos every single day, and they're generally at about the same time. So if you get accustomed to our schedule of releasing new content, you won't miss anything, but hitting that notification bell doesn't hurt either. Yes. Anyways, that's it from me. That's it from Sam. That's it from us. Bars and barbells. See you soon.
See you guys in the next one.